Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Tony Sims at the Matchroom Elite Gym, of course. Tony, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
Glad to hear it. We're here obviously in advance of Joe Cordina's public workout or media workout. He's fighting on the big show next week against Gavin Quinn. What do you make of that fight?
Yeah, Gavin Quinn's a tough kid. He's 11-0 unbeaten, and he's won his final eliminator for the British title. So, you know, he's a decent opponent for Joe Cordina. But I honestly think Cordina's on a different level to that sort of stand of a fighter or all the British fighters at the minute, you know, underneath him. Obviously, you got world level fighters like Luke Campbell and Ricky Burns, who he spars with constantly, you know, and them sort of kids. But below that, I think Joe Cordina's on a different level.
You mentioned Ricky Burns. Let's talk about some of your fighters who are on that kind of world level or on the cusp. Starting with Ricky, anything in the offing for him at the moment?
Yeah, we're just waiting for a date at the moment from Matchroom, but I think he's probably going to fight in October. We're just waiting for a date and an opponent to come through.
And John Ryder, of course, who we can see shadow boxing behind us. There's been rumours about a fight perhaps on ITV Box Office, other bits and pieces. How close is he to getting a big fight or a world title shot?
Yeah, he's very close. Obviously, I can't say anything about that at the moment, but he's pretty close to getting a big fight in this country, yeah.
And Martin Jwald is another one. Seems to be, again, on the cusp of a world title shot. It's been talking back and forth on Twitter with him and Tevin Farmer, but that doesn't seem to be too close just yet. Is he anywhere kind of likely to get a world title shot this year, do you think?
I'm hoping he's going to get a big fight. He's sort of not had a great year activity-wise. He's only had a 6-rounder. He's fighting on this show on the 31st at the O2. I think he's just doing an 8-rounder there. So he's just sort of ticking over and waiting for opportunities. But, you know, he's only lost one fight out of 25, Martin, you know, and, you know, I believe he lost that fight down to trying to make weight. You know, he done it all wrong making a weight, and he was weak in the fight. But hopefully an opportunity comes along for him this year. He deserves his chance. He's sort of watching everyone else getting their chance, and he's just sort of sitting in the wings waiting, and you know, there's only so many 6 or 8 rounders you can keep doing to keep yourself motivated, and hopefully he gets an opportunity this year of a big fight.
And one of the first things you said to me when we walked in the gym today was, have you heard about Ted's fight? Obviously, Ted Cheeseman fighting Scott Fitzgerald. Yeah. Fight a lot of people looking forward to. Yeah. Another big 50-50 fight for Ted as well. How kind of happy are you with how he's been since all the, you know, well-documented problems from before? He's come back seemingly stronger.
Yeah, well, everyone knew about the problems he had, you know, and you know, I think he's done really well, not just on a professional boxing level, but as on a personal level as well. You know, he's been attending these weekly meetings. You know, he's really got himself together, you know, and then he got himself in good shape for the last fight, you know, and obviously he's still working personally, mentally, to get through the problems that he had. But I thought the last fight, even though it was a draw, I thought Ted won the fight. Don't get me wrong. You know, Conway boxed out of his skin, he boxed really well. I still think Ted won the fight clearly by 2 or 3 rounds. But I think for this fight here, it's going to be a whole different fight. You know, there's a lot of noise around this fight. And, you know, he's 2 good styles fighting each other. Scott Fitzgerald is an excellent fighter. He showed that against Anthony Fowler. He's smart, he can punch. But I think his style's a little bit more suited to Ted's style. You know, Conway and Martinez, who he boxed, you know, they was on the back foot, very tall fighters with good left hands, you know what I mean? So this fight suits him a little bit more.
Conor Benn, someone we haven't mentioned yet, looked really impressive in his last performance, seems to be edging towards at least domestic title contention. Where do you have him rested this year?
Yeah, he's going to be fighting on October the 26th at the O2. Eddie said to me he's going to work on a decent opponent for him. So we're just moving him little steps at a time. He's only 22 years old, and you know, he's had 15 fights, but not really any amateur experience. So we're just going to do little steps at a time. Each opponent he boxes now is a little bit better than the last one. So we'll just keep edging towards you know, a decent title fight, and keep gaining experience really.